Hello, everyone. My name is Hampton Chappell, and I would like to thank you all for allowing me to participate in the Laws of Life essay contest. What I first took to be nothing more than another school assignment ended up allowing me to reflect on several experiences that I believe helped define who I am today. This contest has challenged me to delve into the deep key morals that are so often neglected in today's environment. I can safely say that I've learned a lot, not just from writing my own essay, but by reading the works of my fellow participants. I feel honored to be able to share my story with you today. Occasionally, something will happen that really alters your view on both your environment and the people around you. This happens when you least expect it, at a friend's party, a high school football game, or in my case, a fast food restaurant. Little did I know, this diner would show me a new perspective and teach me that a little act of kindness can go a long way. It was the winter of my freshman year, and I was traveling with my church's youth group back from a retreat in northern Georgia. Coming off what might have been the best weekend of my life, I was absolutely ecstatic, yet with a tinge of remorse as it ended. Our church had rented a cabin in the mountains where we spent 3 days swimming in frigid water, playing basketball, and just having a blast. It was a lengthy drive back. After being on the road for almost 3 hours, our leader decided that it would be a good time to break for lunch. However, the place we stopped in was a rural area where we would usually have settled on a more mainstream Chick-fil-A. A smaller fast food chain, Cookout, was our only option. Walking into the restaurant, I didn't heed much attention to my surroundings, as I was too busy messing around with the friends that I'd gone on the trip with. Blindly, I stumbled into line, and before I knew, I was up to order. That was when I first locked eyes with my server. I was about a head taller than her, and she looked about in her mid-40s, yet her small stature did not stave her off from wearing the biggest smile I had ever seen. As I ordered, one thing that stuck out was how amicable she was to me. So, against my usual judgment, in a fast food restaurant, I laid a couple dollars on the counter that I had left from the trip. To my surprise, she was incredibly grateful, mentioning that it was the first tip she'd ever received. And as I walked away, that smile seemed to change into a friendlier, more personal expression. A bit disoriented, I headed to the restroom to wash my hands. However, immediately as I stepped back into the restaurant, I realized that the environment had changed completely. Everyone was gathered around the counter, and with the cashier that had taken my order crying. Confused, I looked around to see what the problem might be, only to see my good friend approach me with an equally surprised expression. I asked what was up, and apparently, after I tipped the lady, the rest of our youth group had begun to chip in and do the same. Eventually, after my youth leader himself had given her a whopping $20, she began to tear up and tell us about the struggle she was going through. Apparently, her father had been diagnosed with skin cancer, and she was in a tight spot in providing for her family. Although the experience was very moving for each one of us, it was clear that we had to hit the road. Upon getting back onto the bus, several of my companions gave me plaudits for beginning the encounter. It felt wrong, as I hadn't done much, but it made a huge impact on both the cashier and our group as a whole. But if there was one moral that I learned from that event, it was that a good deed can leave a huge impact. This experience, in which an act of courtesy helped out a struggling woman, taught me that a little kindness can go a long way. Just a couple dollars, a simple appreciation of good service, significantly benefited a person in need. Without that event, I would be a very different person in the way I viewed the world around me. So remember, a small act of kindness can go a long way, as you never know what others are going through. Do your best to provide support to those around you, because a tiny act of courtesy can be deeply moving for both you and others. Thank you.